Finally, we need to know how to return something from a function. So here we have a function called getANumber, which creates x which equals 1, and we can return x, so we're only going to return the number 1. We call the function as normal getANumber, which is the function name, but this time you will see before we call it we have y equals, and the reason why we have that is whatever we're returning from a function has to go somewhere. So x which equals 1 has to go to something that's called in the function. So for example, in this code y will equal 1 because we're returning x which equals 1 into the variable y. So two new things here when you're returning something from a function is the term return and then what we want to return, and when we call a function name we have to create something which is going to take on the value that which we were returning. So we can return a variable or a list or an object or even more than one. Going back to our function that prints a statement of a number and the square of the number, now we want to return something from this function. So first of all we add the term return and then the thing that we want to return, which is the variable of the square of the number, sqnum in this case. So when we call the function, remember we have to have something the same as what we're returning. So in this example we create a new variable, a new thing, which is sq, which is short for square number. So remember the two things we use when we're returning something. Inside the function we have the return at the end, and when we call the function, the same as what we're returning we're getting back, and we put that before then equals the function name, in this case sq. So we can take out our print statement in this example because we don't need it inside the function, and we can put it in our for loop. So this time we're returning the value, the square of the number, and then we're printing it out after the function is run. Finally, we can send more than one thing to a function and we can return more than one thing from a function. So here's an example where we create two numbers, number 1 and number 2. Num1 equals 5 and num2 equals 8, and we're going to pass both of these to a function called double numbers. Now these double numbers receives these numbers as x and y. Inside the function we have a and b. A is x times 2 and b is y times 2, so we double the numbers and then we return both a and b. So if we go back to where we called our function, here num1 and num2 will change value to double their original values, so will now equal 10 and 16 rather than 5 and 8, which is printed beneath them.